Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be learning about the group by function that's part of the dplyr package. This function allows you to create groups within your dataset so that you can then perform functions within those groups. So we're going to start off as usual with a Brush RStudio session. We have the script over on the left and the console where you'll see the output over on the right. We are going to start by librarying in the dplyr package. And then we're going to be working with the iris dataset, so we'll just use the glimpse function to look at the structure of that. You can see that there's 4 columns, which are numeric values, and then there's a 5th column, the species, that's a factor, so that's what we're going to be using to group the data frame by. So we'll start off with just a very simple example so you can see what a grouped data frame looks like. So we'll start off with iris, and then we're going to do group by function, and you just put the name of the column that you want to group your data frame by. So we're doing species. You can see that it looks pretty much the same. However, there is under the tibble section, there's another line that says groups, species, and then 3 in brackets. So that tells you that your tibble is now grouped by your species, and there's 3 groups. So that means that's because we have 3 different species. So how do you use a grouped data frame? The next example, we will show you how to use it. So we're going to do the iris data frame, and then we're going to group by species again. And let's say we want to find the mean sepal length and the mean sepal widths within each group. So we're going to do group by species, and then we're using the summarize function, which allows us to summarize many rows into one. So we'll name one column the mean S length, so that's going to be for the mean sepal length. And then we'll do another one to find the mean sepal width. Great, so you can see now that there are 3 rows, one for each group or species, and we have 2 other columns. One is the column for the mean sepal length, and the other is the mean sepal width. And so the values in those columns represent the average sepal length of setosa and versicolor and virginica individually. If we didn't have it grouped and we did the mean sepal length, we would get one value for the entire data frame. That's what grouping does in a data frame. So we'll do one more example. Let's use 2 groups. So say we want to group not only by species, but also by petal width. So that means that all of the rows where species is setosa and petal width is 0.2 will be considered its own group. And so within both of those groups, we will again summarize, but we're going to do the average petal length this time. So now you can see that we have a longer tibble because we have more groups. So we not only have the 3 groups of the species, but we also have within those 3 groups 6 different groups of petal widths. And then for each of those petal width / species groups, we have a mean petal length. So you can do this with, 1, 2, 3, 4 groups if you wanted to create them in your data frame. It's all up to you. Grouping also helps when you're creating figures and plots. If you group something, you can pipe it right into a ggplot, and it makes it much easier to specify the colors that you want to do, or maybe a line type. Basically, the grouping function is useful because it allows you to create subgroups within your overall tibble or data frame, and then within those groups or subgroups, you can perform certain actions. So you can do the average of a group, you can do the standard deviation of a group, you could do the minimum or maximum. You can take the top 2 rows of every group. This gives you a lot of control over your data frame and how you want to manipulate it later on. So I hope that was helpful for you. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.